It's tough because like the Trackman data doesn't lie. It performs well in certain areas and it doesn't perform well in other areas. I think this could be your golden ticket to playing easier and better golf. Welcome to the first equipment review on this channel. I got a set of 11 golf hybrids. So what we're going to do in this video, I want to get some data numbers and compare them to my irons and see the dispersions, maybe eliminate iron, tighten up your misses if I gain extra distance. And then I'm also going to go out into the course, test some shots, some full shots, some pitch shots, some sand shots, and we're going to see how they stack up to an actual set. So before we unveil them, the whole purpose behind 11 Golf is they believe that you should shoot better scores with hybrids instead of irons. So more forgiving, you should get more distance. So that's kind of their whole thing, is that you should be able to keep them in play better. Irons are tougher to hit than hybrids. They've made hybrids to eliminate long irons for players. So they have now gone from just a set of 3, 4, and 5s. They have now gone 6, 7, pitching wedge, all that. So they've done the whole set. We're going to review it. We're going to first take a look at it. So we're going to pull one out of the box here. So we'll get into this, but we got a KBS shaft and then we got a Super Stroke grip. But we'll unveil them here because they do look super clean. Like, it looks really nice. They've done, like, it looks super, super clean. Done a really good job with the design of it. This is the 7 iron. So 7 hybrid. You can compare it to kind of like almost looks like a Titliest in a way. Kind of the same kind of design, that clean matte look on top. Just super, super clean looking club. So we got, okay, before we get into the data and stuff, the first thing I notice is this pitching wedge says 43 degrees. So my pitching wedge in my bag is 46, I believe. Yeah, so my 9 iron is going to be a 42. So this pitching wedge is actually set to about a 9 iron in my bag. So it should automatically already go further than my pitching wedge, but we will find out because, yeah, my 9 iron is 42 degrees. This pitching wedge is a 43. So the degrees could be set up to being strong on this, so they should go further already. I'm really curious to see how the dispersion rate goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 5 shots with each club, and I'm going to eliminate the top one and the bottom one, and we're going to take the average of the 3, and that's what we're going to go for this test. We're going to do pitching wedge, 7 iron, and 4 iron. It feels really good. It's just super awkward because, like, it just, the face just looks like it's going straight that way. That only went 124 yards, but okay. Let's get into it. Let's just see what the stats say. All right, guys, we got our Trackman data for you. We've tested these hybrids out on the course. Now it's time to see how these 11 hybrids stacked up against my irons, and if they could possibly replace your irons in your bag to help you shoot lower scores. So today we're going to dive in right into the Trackman, and then after I get over through the data, I'm going to just give my personal opinion on the hybrids, how I felt them on the course with the certain shots that we did, and go from there. So we're going to dive straight into it. We got a pitching wedge. So we did full shots in the hybrid with pitching wedge, 7 hybrid and 4 hybrid. So let's see what the pitching wedge is. So the first stats you're going to see here is we took 5 shots and then we eliminated the 2 worst that gave our dispersion. So as you see, our first 5, we got 1 outlier there that I absolutely just nuked, and then we got 1 that's short of the green. But the other 3, when you take away those 2 worst ones, the other 3 are actually really good. The dispersion is super tight. You got 2 inside 10 feet. You got 1 just outside 10 feet. That's really good from 130 yards that you're trying to, you're going to have 10 footers from 130 yards 3 to 5 times. Doesn't get much better than that. Carry is 131 with a total of 130. So it's actually spinning back a yard. So it's actually landing and pretty much stopping where you land it, which is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what you want. So with the pitching wedge, with the numbers, super happy with it. I give it an A+ on the pitching wedge on the Trackman data. Now, if we go into our irons, so we're going to compare it. I had to take a few extra shots here with the pitching wedge with my iron, but you see there's a lot of numbers here. So we got the 3 best ones, and you can see the dispersion is very, very similar to the hybrid. I would say that the hybrid is performed just a little bit better because this one only has one ball inside 10 feet. The distance, 127 carry, 127 total. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to land it and stop it right on the number. You're trying to hit numbers in golf, right? So the iron in that sense did exactly what I thought it was going to do. And again, these numbers are at sea level. Shockingly, on full swings, hybrid pitching wedge beat my pitching wedge. So I was super shocked by that, but 11 golf hybrid 1, my iron 0. 7. We're going to dive into the 7 iron now. So the 7 hybrid, again, dispersion rate's actually pretty good. Got one outlier way on the right that was completely my swing. I just hooked it. But again, when I did hit this shot, it wasn't like my normal hook. It kind of just started out there and just stayed straight. So it was kind of like just a straight miss right. Curvature wasn't very much on it at all. So if we take away our 2 worst, dispersion rate again is unbelievable. 2 shots inside 10 feet, 1 just outside 10 feet. So from 180 yards, absolutely sticking darts with a 7 hybrid. So super happy with that. Again, carries 180, totals 180. It's not rolling out. Spin rate's great. The club speed, and again, to get the distance with that club speed is super, super good. So again, I was super happy with how the 7 iron performed on full shots. Now we compare it to my 7 iron. A little bit wider dispersion rate here. And again, this is typical for me because that is one of my weaknesses, is trying to proximity to the hole, trying to get as much birdie opportunities as possible. So this is pretty average. We take away the 2 worst, and we have 1 inside 10 feet and 2 just on the outside of 25, 30 feet. 7 hybrid absolutely in dispersion rate killed my 7 iron. Super shocked by that because it looks so different in your hands, and it's tough to like trust it, but the dispersion doesn't lie. And carry 171, so I added 9 yards, almost a club with the hybrid. And so yeah, super happy with that. And if we compare the ball speed, like I gained 5 miles per hour in the ball speed with the same club head speed. So you're not swinging any harder, you're getting better dispersion rate, and you're carrying the ball further. That's win, win, win. So 7 hybrid versus 7 iron, 2 for 11 golf, and 0 for my irons. So they outperforming them so far. So let's get into the 4 iron. This is the dispersion rate from the 4 iron. So 4 hybrid. Again, this isn't bad. I got 2 outlayers on the outside. This is the 5 shots that I took. 1 way out there, that's completely my swing. It's not the club at all. When you miss that bad, it's 100% you. Let's take away the 2 worst. All 3 were on the green, and a couple just outside 10 feet. So 2 from 15 feet from 220 yards. And you got 1 just on the outside from putting from 30 feet. I'll take this. 3 putts. You got 30 feet. Like if this is a par 5 and I got a 4 hybrid in my hand, I have confidence that I'm going to hit the green. It's exactly what you want. 216 carry, the 234 rollout. The one thing you're going to have to be careful with this is that the spin rate was super, super low with the 4 hybrid, and it wasn't landing soft and sticking. It was hitting and rolling out quite a ways. So you're going to have to take that into account when you play this club, because you're going to have to land it shorter and let it release. To my 4 iron, my 4 iron was very, very good on the dispersion rate, very tight. Take away the 2 outliers and 2 inside 10 feet, 1 about 15 feet, 213 carry, 214 total, so it's stopping where I wanted to. The 4 iron definitely completely outperformed the 4 hybrid, and I was actually shocked by that. I thought this test was going to be completely the other way around. I thought the 4 hybrid was going to outperform the 4 iron, and I thought that the shorter clubs were going to outperform the hybrids, but it's completely the other way around. The iron got 1 here. 11 golf hybrids still have 2, so 2-1 on the test. So 11 golf won the Trackman test. So we're going to take it to the course, and we're going to see what my own personal preference is with this. All right, guys, you've seen what these hybrids can do on the Trackman with full swings. Now it's time to put them to the test in the short game area. We're going to test them on chipping, 50-yard shot, 100-yard shots, hitting over a bunker, in a bunker, everything that you need to score well. Can they replace your short irons or possibly your wedges? It's time to find out. We're at the beautiful Couch and Golf Club today. Let's get at it. So after testing these clubs out on the course, and I did it with the pitching wedge, And the reason why I did it with the pitching wedge is because like I just believe like full shots, we got our data. We know what they're going to perform like. I don't need to go hit 150-yard shots and 200-yard shots on the course. So I wanted to give it some tests. I wanted to do chips around the green, right around the fringe. I want to do like a 30-yard chip. I wanted to hit it out of the bunker because if you're going to replace your irons, you got to be able to hit these out of a bunker, right? And I want to go over a bunker, and I wanted to put them in spots where I wanted them to fail. I did. That's the test. And if they can pass it, they pass it with flying colors. So you want to put them into tough tests, and you want to see what the outcome is. So we started with the chips on around the green, and to be honest with you, you could put this in your bag today. Super easy to hit. Once you got the feel down of how hard to hit the hybrid around the green, it releases fine. It's like a putter. That's the reason why some pros use 4 hybrids or 3 hybrids around the green. It just comes off nice. But the pitching wedge performed very, very well. And again, it beat it on the Trackman. Very, very surprised with it around the green. I thought it would be super tough to get it close, but it was not. So I give it an A around the green. There's an A+ on the Trackman. This pitching wedge performed very, very well there. So when we go to 30-yard shots, this is when it gets very, very tricky for me, because I like to carry my ball and like only let it release about like 10 feet. With the hybrid, you kind of just had to land it on the green and let it release like 30 feet. So a super, super touchy shot. But I think for lower level golfers, I think this would be a great club to use from 30 yards. It's super easy to hit, comes off the face nice, very, very little effort. But for higher amateur golfers, probably not, or single digit handicaps, probably not the club from 30 yards. You're probably going to want to use a wedge. And then we go to the bunkers. So I tried to hit it like a normal chip shot out of the bunker because it's a hybrid. I didn't think you'd have to slap the sand with it, because that's what you do. You open the face up, right, and then you kind of cut across it, slap the sand with like a sand wedge or a lob wedge. So the first one I like chunked right into the face, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to try to slap the sand with it. I didn't open it up. I just kind of hit down in the sand and cut across the ball like a normal wedge, and it came out just nicely. It released quite a ways, but it did get over. There's a 3-foot lip in front of me, and I was able to get the ball over the lip. So for most amateurs that can't get out of a bunker, this was super, super easy to hit out of the bunker. I'll give it about a C grade out of the bunker, and the reason being is because if you have to get up and try to land it in like 10 feet of area, you're probably going to have a long putt for whatever you're shooting, par or bogey. So it's going to be very, very tough to convert up and downs out of the bunker with this, I believe. I think only one actually stayed on the green for my shots, and I gave myself a lot of green to play with, but it did get out. And once I learned how to hit it out of there, I think I could get it out of, unless it's like a really, really deep bunker, you're probably in trouble. If you're in a pop bunker in Scotland, you're probably just in there the rest of your life. You're not getting out with this club. But normal bunkers on a muni golf course that most beginners play, this is all you need, and it's super, super easy to pop the ball on. So yeah, give it a C out of the bunkers. And the last thing is I tried to hit like a 35, 40-yard shot over the bunker, out of the rough, and it was super easy to hit out of the rough. But released so far, you can't control it. You can't really get a lot of loft with it and flop it down like if you're tucked behind a bunker. So again, high-level amateurs, probably not the club for you in the short game area, but beginners, high handicappers, this could be the club that can make golf that much easier for you. So going with this and going with my conclusion with all this clubs, it's tough because like the Trackman data doesn't lie. It performs well in certain areas and it doesn't perform well in other areas. I would give the 11 hybrids an overall like a B+ on the scale of rating, but I think for high level golfers, single digit handicaps, even like a under 15 handicap, yeah, the 4, 5, 6, even a 7 hybrid could probably help you and make your life a lot easier. But once you're getting into the short game area, you do need the wedges. You do need a 9-iron or a pitching wedge if you have to get it up and over something. I think these are great for beginners or people new to the game, or if you're only going to be playing like once every couple weeks and you just want to make golf easy and fun and not as hard, these will make the game way easier for you. But for people who take the game serious and are trying to score low, I don't know if these are the clubs for you. Definitely could add in like a 3 or 4 or 5 hybrid if you really want to. Great clubs that way. I think the club is great. Comes off the face, the feel's unreal. But for an overall perspective, and we're trying to make sure that these can replace your iron sets, for the high amateur, low handicap, I don't think that it's the case. But for beginners and high handicappers, I think this could be your golden ticket to playing easier and better golf. And beginners, you're going to get way better scores using 11 hybrids. Go pick yours up today.